Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Weeks of additional practice and prep for bowl games not only can set the tone for what we're going to see in this game, but for what might be in store next season as well. As we'll see a squad from Conference USA, the Missouri State Bears, taking on a team from the Sun Belt, the Arkansas State Red Wolves. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. Kickoff team is out there ready to get this bowl game underway. Out of the end zone. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Missouri State's offense will go to work first. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, all power. All those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well together.
On the run, it's Lawrence. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
They'll need to convert this third down from their own 22 to get this drive jump-started. Clark to fire. And this is going to be incomplete on third down.
Well, it's not quite the start this offense wanted to have on third down. It's their first opportunity. That one falls incomplete. They're going to have to be better on those critical downs as this game goes on.
The Bears will send out the punt unit. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. So Arkansas State's offense will go to work for the first time today. And Jesse, this is going to be a fun test. This receiver, if you leave him in man coverage, you might be in for some trouble.
And so when you get him in the one-on-ones, you got to throw his way. He's a really good route runner. He can catch the football. And then when the defense decides to double cover and take him away, that's when you go somewhere else with the football or you run it. The balance in this offense, based on how they play him, I think is big today.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do as a defense. Sometimes you double team him. Sometimes you play zone. Mix it up. Give different looks because he is a guy. He's shown the ability to burn your defense and make big plays.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Grabbed over the middle. It's Cobb. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
Really nice job by quarterback and wide receiver. This is why you do film work. This is why you throw on air all offseason. I know I get zone coverage. I know exactly where I'm breaking. I know exactly where to deliver the football. Nice throw, nice catch.
They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Grabbed in the middle. It's Burris. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Hey, these wide receivers are so athletic out wide now. You're so worried about getting beat deep. And these slant routes, they can be a good changeup. I mean, just a couple steps, stick your foot in the ground, come inside. It might not be huge gains all the time, but, man, it keeps that DB off balance.
From the gun to give, looking for room. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And just nowhere to go for that runner. He had no choice. That defense, they were bringing it up front. Everybody winning their one-on-ones, and they completely had him surrounded.
They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Looking for a man. It's Rayner. They're working that left side. Makes the grab. Defense right there, and they are set up at the 14. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
And that quarterback knew the counter run was going to work on that play because he counted the box defensively before the snap. He saw that he had an advantage in numbers and blockers getting a hat on a hat, so he knew that was a green light. As soon as he got the snap, off they go, and it's an explosive play.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Got his man. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you got to put the ball out in front of your target. And when you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a 1st down like they did right there.
He'll pull it on the read. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Red Wolves!
The defense has got to do a better job of taking the most dangerous man. That's the guy with the football in his hands. Force him to do something with it. You can't just let him keep the ball and go score.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. That last drive covered 52 yards on their way to the score. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his spot. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. He'll do it himself. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense. Understand, listen, that QB is a threat. And they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. The inside handoff. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Line is set on 3rd down. Clark wants to throw. Firing to the right, complete. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the 2nd quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Arkansas State is on top. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. And the Bears will call on their punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. A low line drive and not his best work. Hand goes into the air for the fair catch, and the catch is made around the 40. Guys, we'll see if this Red Wolves offense can get moving. Fires to the middle. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Couldn't connect on 1st down. Now back to the air. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. He's got it on the outside. They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Motion from the wide receiver. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Got him downfield. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. And I think on that last completion, it was a good example of that.
To the air, it's Rayner. He makes a grab. They will score. Touchdown, Red Bulls. Effective offense, leading the way here and establishing this lead.
And that's how you draw it up, right? You want to come out, be clicking early, get everything going. Want to get all the facets rolling. The defense right now on their heels, they have no answers. The offense doing whatever they want.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish it off by connecting from 10 yards out. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. On the run from inside his own 5. Buys just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. So here comes the Missouri State offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
The play-action fake. Finds the tight end. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the first down. There's not a lot more beautiful in football than the play-action and the open tight end.
Yeah, because it freezes those linebackers. It freezes those safeties because they have to come up for a second and play the run. And then the big tight ends, big targets on the back end can catch the football and make big plays.
Give to the back. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Here's a quick throw out to the left. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Third and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. Clark to fire. Got a man. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Wants to throw again. Catch in the middle, it's Johnson. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes, he's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
Short from the 42. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking down the middle. Working that left side. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
It's really nice when you're an offensive coach and you can basically attack the whole field. When you got an arm like this and you could just, boom, put it on a line, it's really nice to have that.
Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. Trying to run, it's Lawrence. Got some room, headed to the goal line. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave a little bit of everything on that one.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
Makes the grab. Touchdown, Missouri State. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
That is exactly what this offense needed to do. You talk about answering at the right time, right before the half, close this gap, create some momentum, go into the half, put something together, try to come out with your hair on fire and win this second half.
Ready to try the point after. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. They marched 72 yards and finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. So the kickoff team will come out after they turn in a score on that last drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Dropping back, it's Rayner. Quickly complete. He stopped at the 32. It'll be a 1st down in the waning seconds of the half. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
Looking to throw on 1st down. The sure hands, it's Rucker. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
All right, thanks, guys. And through 2 quarters of ball, it looks like we're in for another fun one here today. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. That said, let's get back to the field and our guys in the booth to start the second half.
The Bears will kick it off to start the second half. On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Arkansas State ready to go back to work on offense. To the air on 1st down. Fires to the big fella. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup.
Yeah, and And tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Caught behind the line. It's Rutgers. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
My old coach said, you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Red Wolves come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
The Red Wolves will bring the punt team onto the field. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. So here comes the Bear offense. Clark wants to throw. Fakes the grab on the left. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Using his legs, it's Lawrence. Picks up the first down, still moving. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Makes the grab. It's Robinson. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Hey, listen, on offense, just take what the defense gives you. Quarterback looks out wide. He sees the DB way off of the receiver. Throw him the easy hitch pass. You'll take that completion.
After that last completion, it's second down. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle. It's Johnson. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
Breaks into the open. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
And in these situations, you're never looked at poorly, right? You can go for these situations because it's a really long field goal, so it's not a guaranteed make, or I can be aggressive offensively, and I like the choice. Be aggressive, get the first down. Nice job by the offense.
Clark to fire. Gets it out fast. No chance to run, but still a solid pickup on that one. And the Bears can really attack on this second and short. Wants to go up top. Fires complete on the crosser. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, this tight end can run these crossing patterns, and he can catch the ball against man coverage or zone coverage. That time, nice job seeing the ball in, helping his QB out.
The Bears have it with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, the running back has it. They'll give him maybe one on the play. It's down to the 20.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Pulls it and fires to the left. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. We've reached the break, and Arkansas State has the lead. And sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. Clark wants to throw. Oh, they're after him. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. He slides that just inside the right upright. That'll bring him to within 4.
And look, obviously you would have loved to score a touchdown there, but you did the important thing. Kicked a field goal, you're now within 1 possession. Can your defense get you the football back, and can your offense drive the field and put it in the end zone? This is what you practice for. Let's see if they can go execute, fellas.
They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Arkansas State has it ready to go to work on offense. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Defense fills those gaps. He's got 1 to the 28.
This is an area of the game. On offense, you've got to be able to run the football well. You've got the lead in the 4th quarter, and obviously you're in your own end here, but you want to bleed the clock. You want to stay on the field and keep getting first down, so you have to be able to run.
Looking to pass. It's Brainerd. Shoots it to the left. And it's intercepted. A huge 4th quarter play for this defense. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Let's go. Talk about leaving the door open. Yes, please. You think they might run the clock out, run the football consistently? No, sir. They put it in the air. We forced the interception. Great job by the defense. When they needed it the most, they came through.
Okay, guys, the Bears offense comes onto the field. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
And the Bears in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Caught in the backfield, it's Johnson. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Screen pass just not working there. You figure at this point of the game, trailing, you're going to have to be more aggressive and take some shots. You usually run screen passes when you think there's going to be a blitz, but because the defense has the lead, they're just sitting back and playing big zones.
And if you didn't know this was a big play, The crowd is telling you, a huge third down. He's going for the big play. Touchdown, Bears! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the fourth.
And just like that, the game is completely changed, right? The defense comes away with a huge turnover, and the offense able to cash it in, capitalize by scoring a touchdown. So they've now got the lead. Not a lot of time left, but it feels like all the momentum is now on their side.
If he can make this one, the lead will be 3. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they top it off with a 31-yard toss for 6. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Guys, we'll see if this Red Wolves offense can get moving. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
What can they pull out of the playbook here on 2nd and long from the 17? Grabbed in the backfield. It's Rucker. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. So can the defense get one more stop, one more time, and hold on to this lead? To the air, it's Rayner. Throwing right. He's got it. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback finding his open receiver on 3rd down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is 3rd down conversion percentage. If you're a great 3rd down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill 3rd down so much in practice.
Catch in the middle. It's Cobb.
This quarterback looks in complete control, not flustered, into the game situation, connecting on his passes. Nice job knowing his answers. Got to keep this rolling here to try to make this thing interesting.
And the Red Wolves with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They're looking to throw on 2nd and short. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
And that's a good job by this defense. The 2-minute situations can be tough, especially communicating, and you know they want to push the ball down the field, but a lot of times it's towards the sidelines. They protect the middle of the field, play great defense all across the board.
He'll keep it himself. They convert on 3rd down as he gets it to the 46-yard line.
I just love it when my quarterback knows situational football. They run the option. He understands. It's 4th and short. Like, I got to stick my nose in there, get north-south, and try to get that 1st down. I love when I have a quarterback that can do that.
The give on the inside. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And this offense has got to get somewhere, right? That's a couple plays in a row. Like, the clock is their biggest enemy. So we got to find a way to manufacture, push the ball down the field, make something happen with that clock running out.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. It's Rayner. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
How nice is it as a defense when you've got a corner that can play on an island and be as dominant as this guy has been all game long? We just saw another great example of it right there. Breaking on the ball and knocking it away.
They'll try to pick up a few here on 3rd down, but from here it would be a 60-yard attempt. They get to him as he throws. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
And this offense has been a struggle bus. I mean, just call it like it is, guys. It hasn't been good, especially the passing game. And I'll tell you what, QB's played better games before. And I'm interested to watch. Can he stay positive? Can he finish this game off on a good note?
They're throwing for it on 4th down. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock as the offense moves closer, trying to pull it out. He knew exactly what they needed there, made the play, and got out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you got to keep this turbo mode on, right? We got to keep going fast. The clock's running down. 4th quarter, need a score. Great execution to get the 1st down. We need a lot more of this on this drive.
They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Bring in the heat. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
Passing situation, what do I want to do? I want to bring more guys that can cover guys on the outside. Nice job by this defense, running the dime package, more DBs on the field to match up with all these speedy wide receivers.
So now it's 2nd and long. They'll leave it with him. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Timeout is called by the offense. 16 seconds left in the game. 12th play of the drive coming up, but they've got a long way to go here on 3rd down. He's got it again. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. They'll get the timeout with 5 seconds remaining to play. This kicker is going to need nerves of steel on this one. They'll get the timeout with 5 seconds remaining to play. And this one to bring us to a deadlock in the final moments. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. Didn't make him sweat at all. It's good. And they tie it up, fellas, here in the final seconds.
I am not always the most positive guy towards kickers. We all know that. But how about that, man? First opportunity in the game, in the 4th quarter, when your team needed it, the game now tied because of his foot.
Coming down the stretch in the 4th, and we are all tied up, about set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Well, guys, let's play some more. Headed to overtime.
And this just feels right. Both of these teams going back and forth. So, of course, David, this thing needs to get decided in OT.
Let's see who's better. Short amount of time to do it. A couple possessions probably. Maybe one possession each. Who's the better team?
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime. And just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possessions starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and 2-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
We'll get it started here in overtime. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
Scanning the field, it's Rayner. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose. And I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, really be physical. Because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pop out.
Rush is on him. Had to throw it before he wanted. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
They'll try to put 3 on the board and take the lead in overtime. Absolutely perfect. And guys, after the field goal, now they have the lead.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
Wants to go up top on first down. Zings it complete to the right. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. Run in the red zone. It's Lawrence. Headed to the end zone. He's in. A game-winning touchdown in overtime.
And I like the running back's vision. He sees the hole, explodes through it. He knows where the goal line is, gets in the end zone, gets 6.